It's finally here, patch notes preview for the March 9th update, and we all know that March 9th update is going to come with a lot of content, so let's dive straight in to see what kind of details we have for the content that's upcoming on March 9th update. So the first thing we have is the Champions Arena. So the Champions Arena will open on March 9th, we all know that, and then it's going to be 3v3, and then the winner is going to be determined by best 2 out of 3, right? So this one is quite self-explanatory. And then Champions Arena will unlock after you complete stage 5-1, and this is of course due to the fact that you wouldn't be able to field enough heroes to have 3 teams, right? 3 effective teams in the Champions Arena anyway during the earlier stages of the game, so they expect you to have cleared certain stages before you can challenge or enter Champions Arena. And Champions Arena is going to be a permanent addition, and there will be a free daily entry count of 5 which resets every day. So this is exactly like the arena that we have currently, nothing too different. And after your daily limit is exhausted, you can consume 50 Everstones to purchase Champions Arena ticket. And I know that this is not going to be a popular take, especially for casual players, that this is not going to be at all competitive, and I feel like it's a shame because I thought that with the treasure system being implemented, they really wanted this to become something competitive, right? But it seems like it's just like arena whereby you can purchase tickets, you can purchase tries without limit with Everstone, so whoever has the most Everstones would probably just be at the top of the arena. And also the fact that it seems like they are exactly copying the arena itself meant that if you were to lose in a round against like a team, someone attacking you, right, and you wouldn't lose any like rating itself, so people would be incentivized to fill out teams whereby they only have like 1 unit, just like the arena itself. And then people that are attacking will also be incentivized to reroll until they find such a team. So instead of being incentivized to challenge or think of how to create teams to defend, how to create teams to attack, you would just be penalized for not going after teams whereby they only have 1 unit field. So I think this is really a shame. It could have been so much better, right? But yeah, I know this is not going to be a popular take, but whatever, this is just my opinion on it and how I feel like it's going to benefit the game if there is something competitive with it, so there's something more interesting, right? Next is going to be the guild raid, and of course we know that the guild raid is coming, guild boss is coming, and after 9th March update it's going to come, and this is going to last for 1 week. And from what I've read here, you're going to be given 3 tries per day, so meaning 1 week you're going to challenge the guild boss, and then after that there will be a cooldown, and the next guild boss is going to be a different guild boss, so they wouldn't recycle the same guild boss. It's going to be Gaia, and then it's going to be available from March 30th, so we have 3 weeks cooldown over here. And then next we are also going to see like what you have to do to participate, right? Of course you have to be in a guild to participate, but you cannot kick people. So if you're a guild master, your manager, you cannot kick people or disband a guild during the guild raid itself. This is to protect guild members from being kicked during the guild raid, so they will have to suffer the cooldown if they were to be kicked, and then they have to wait 24 hours, and then subsequently when they join a guild again, you cannot participate on the day itself, right? Because look at this, important people who newly join a guild during the guild raid period will not be given the daily entry count, so for that day itself you cannot participate. So people or rather they have encouraged people to join before March 9th to not lose out on any rewards. And there are going to be 2 guild raid battles, practice and challenge, so this makes me think that there is no way you can retry, but I might be wrong. Although you can just try out your teams on the practice mode itself, right? So you can engage the guild boss with your various teams and then see how they perform, and also choose the various treasures. I'm going to touch on that shortly. The soul and the treasures you cannot use again on the day itself. This one I'm going to cover. Guild raid rankings will be assessed by taking total damage inflicted by all guild members in the guild, so more people better most of the time, right? And differential payment of rewards will be given based on guild ranking, so probably like the top 1, top 2, or top 1, top 2, top 3, and then there will be a 3 to 10, and subsequently maybe 10 to 100, something like this. So details on guild rates will be added once the patch notes are officially out. And then here we do have the treasure system, so this is what is going to be applied to both the guild raid as well as the Champions Arena. But like I mentioned, if people are going to fill garbage teams for Champions Arena, it's not going to be that significant, right? So here, guild raid itself, you are going to choose 1 treasure and then equip it while you prepare your party for guild raid boss battle. And then once you have used one of the treasures itself, you cannot use it from the same group. So what does it mean? It's similar for Champions Arena. So what does it mean is that for guild raid treasures itself, they are categorized into 3 groups, right? So the first group here, these are all the buffs of first group, and we can see here very clearly it's all the racial buffs. And then the second group is more of the positional buffs, and then the last group itself is based on the highest attack, highest defense, right? So based on those clauses. So you can only use one from each group for that actual day itself, meaning the first try you have used a treasure from group 1, you can no longer use another treasure from group 1 for your tries number 2 and 3. So you definitely have to use all 3 groups treasures, right? Because first try you probably use group 1, then second try you can have access to group 2 or group 3, and then the last one you have to use the leftover one. So you have to plan it accordingly based on what teams you're going to field for guild boss. And of course this is going to be more interesting, right, given the fact that depending on your team, you would have to pick the most optimal one, and likely you have to if you want to min max, you have to go into practice mode and then try out your teams to see how much damage you can deal with each respective team itself to cultivate the best 3 teams that you can come up with, right, to get maximum damage. So those are for min maxers. And then next here we also have the Champions Arena treasures, and it's quite similar to it, to be honest, just slight differences, so I'm not going to touch on it in detail. Anyways, when it comes out, we will have to like try itself which one are the best. But for Champions Arena, like I mentioned, people are going to be incentivized to just go for the teams that field one unit itself. I don't think this is going to play much into it, so guild raid is what I'm more concerned with. Next is going to be the new Battlefront area. So we also know that chapter 18, for people that have been waiting, me alike, we have been waiting for chapter 18 to come out. And then this is going to be an ancient ship found at Hidden Dock behind the Navis Harbour. So this is just the lore, and I don't think it has anything to do with the mechanics so far, I've noticed. And then Gate Breakthrough is also going to be expanded to 300 stages for unlimited gate, and then 150 for human-like beast, fairy, as well as undead. So it's going to be super challenging. Even now for the gates itself, I cannot clear 125 for most of my gates. I can only clear for fairy because I have like my Talia and my Chloe Origin, but once I get more Origin units, you probably can also clear the other stages, right? So also we are going to get, like I mentioned previously in the news video, it's going to have Catherine Love Story and Mariam, and they have their costumes. I'm going to indicate on screen right here so that you can tell or you can see it for yourself, right? And then next we also have the event, which is the March 9th event. This is coming after the Valentine's Day event we have previously, right? So after that has ended, we have a 1-week cooldown, and now finally it's going to come. Spring Blooming in Your Heart will start on the March 9th after the maintenance. And what I can tell from reading this itself is that you'll be able to collect lucky petals, which is the currency, same as the love potions for Valentine's Day event, right? Similar thing, it's event currency, and then you can change similarly for furniture as well as for Clara as well as Haru costumes. And I do think for souls as well, they never mentioned, but previously they also didn't mention for Valentine's Day event, but we also had the souls itself. So we have to calculate the currency to see how many copies we can get, right? Maybe they are going to get more and more stingy. We shall see, right, on the day itself. We wouldn't know yet because we don't know how much currency is being given out. And here we have a mini game mode called Dangerous White Robin Forest, and this looks like Vampire Survivors for anyone that played it. Basically just like a defense mode whereby the mobs will constantly swarm you, right, and then you have to fend them off. And this looks like an AoE circle, so there is going to be a lot of dodging involved, and I'm not sure how much you are going to be able to do, right? How many waves you are going to have. More details is going to come, and likely after the game is released we'll know more. But it seems to me like everyone would have a fair chance because this is more like a skill based. It's not really like depending on your souls itself, right? Although they did mention that for this event itself you can have like a accompanying soul, right? I'm not sure how much this accompanying soul is going to do. Like if you have an origin at level 290, is it going to be a different thing compared to like just a soul where you have like at level 1, right? We wouldn't know for now, but hopefully it wouldn't be that much of a difference. Otherwise it's going to be another event that is pretty much pay to win, right? So next we are going to have the login bonus as usual, nothing too much to talk about. And then next we have the Lucky Petal Collection Mission event, and this looks quite different from the daily event event we have, because look at this, it says that depending on the number of lucky petals you accumulate, you are going to obtain various rewards which will be delivered into your bag automatically. So this likely is not going to generate more lucky petals or more event currencies. It's going to be additional rewards on top of that based on how much you collected, right? So this is going to be something interesting. But this is the flower daily mission. So this is what we always have, whereby we are going to get missions and probably going to get 60 event currency, right? And then each day we're going to get some rewards so that we can go towards collecting event rewards to change in the shop. And also, if we were to complete a number of missions, we are likely going to get the Haru as well as Clara Soul Memories, right? And next, during this event period, we have the login background change. Okay, this is always as usual, right? They'll have new music. The music in Eversoul is pretty good, so definitely looking forward to it as well. Double reward boost. So this we have already seen on the calendar. I didn't really touch on that piece of news because it was super small, but we do have Champions Arena double rewards right from the start of them being released, as well as bond points times 2, right, from the outing itself. And this is also going to help towards getting all those costumes that you don't have yet, as well as it's going to go in conjunction with making like units 3,000 bond points, right, if you really want to go for those, because there are additional benefits when it comes to a shorter resting period as well as quicker part-time jobs completion, right? So that is something they've announced previously. And then the rest of this is just Catherine pickup. So if people that are interested in getting Catherine, you can get a few copies, right? Optimally, I would say that don't go too hard on this itself. If you don't have Catherine, maybe picking up 1 or 2 copies might be good. But of course, we do know that Aki is coming soon, right? And it looks like Aki is going to be super strong. So similarly, I'm also saving for Aki. And that about does it for this video. But before you leave, I'll be hosting a live stream tomorrow night on March 8th on viewer friendship pools, right? So if you're interested in participating, you want me to pool your friendship points on stream itself, definitely DM me on Discord so that we can work out the details and you can participate in this live stream. Also, at the end of it, definitely check out this video over here, because I'm going to teach you how to abuse the level sync for progression in Eversoul. So I'll see you guys over there. This is Corky Gachas signing off.